Hi guys, it's Romy from Clone Phone Zone, and here we are going to do a quick review of this Galaxy S5 clone from DHGate, a seller called iBaby888. And this I have with me here is with this Spigen slim armor case, and actually it feels a bit thick in my opinion. It makes the phone a bit thick, but protection wise it really protects your phone quite good. But I'm thinking of getting the Neo Hybrid from Spigen. It's also the clone on DHGate. I've already ordered and waiting for the shipment to arrive. So here we have the physical aspect of the phone itself. I think I don't need to explain all the ports, the buttons. I think everybody should know what each and every one is for there. And basically the problem that I have with this case is the USB port, because if you push the USB protector here all the way in, it might be a bit difficult to remove it because of the way the case is. So but actually I find out that this protector is there for the waterproof function, to prevent water from going into the USB port. So basically we know that this clone phone, I don't think they have the waterproof function, so this thing might not be useful at all. I might decide to remove it or not, depending on the Neo Hybrid case. But anyway, this is an yeah, I have here the charger that comes with the phone. If I use this charger, it has no problem plugging in with the protector here. It has no problem at all. And also you can use smaller charger with a smaller head like this. You shouldn't have any problem also putting it in, even with the protector there. It only is a bit difficult if you are using the USB micro USB connector with a larger head. Then there might be a problem getting into the groove here. Okay, that apart, let's go on with the phone itself. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to remove the casing from the phone, and we'll put the casing aside. We'll concentrate more on the phone. So this is remember that this is a clone model of the original Samsung Galaxy S5. So for this price of $180 US, I mean 140 US for quad-core device, you really can't compare with the original device. Basically this device is more like if you are buying it for someone who doesn't use much of the original function, or you are buying it for your kids. You are afraid that they might destroy the phone, spoil the phone, so you don't want them to handle a more expensive high-end phone. This is a good alternative. Or it may be for your elderly or anybody who you think deserve less expensive phone. This is a good replacement or an alternative. That's all I can say. If you are buying a clone, basically that's what you are looking for, a cheap but with all the looks of the original. Only that the quality, the software, physical, I mean the software inside is the difference, but physically everything is being cloned nicely. You can use the original cover. Everything is exchangeable. I mean, you can use the original one for this clone, and the clone cover you can use for the original one. So we're going to open out the back cover, and the battery that came with the phone is 2800 milliamp battery. Don't know whether you can see it. 2008, yep, 2800 milliamp. But I've been having a bit of a problem with the battery. because so far with aggressive use of the phone, I managed to clock only about 2 hours or 2 hours plus, honestly. So the battery might not be what it right here, 2008. It might be actually of a lower capacity, maybe a 2002, 2001, because it lasted me only about 2 hours with aggressive use of gaming, of downloading everything. So I already ordered the replacement battery with a higher capacity, the 4350 milliamp, also from DHGate, and I'm going to test it again once it reach here. I'm going to test it how long it can actually last me this time. And basically inside everything is the same. You have the micro SD card here slot, and SIM card is a single micro SIM. And there's also the connectors points here, connecting points for the wireless charging, but I've yet to test. Also, I already ordered the wireless charging, the Qi wireless charging. I've yet to test once they arrive. Basically that's it. Everything is a bit quite similar to the original phone. So let's power it up and we talk more about the internal of the phone. The physical aspect of the phone is done. So when we boot up this phone, it actually shows the original Samsung Bootup logo. And as you can see here, even the sounds, but I find that the boot up is a bit slow. Maybe it's of course it's only the quad-core processor. This is just a 6582 MTK chip. Now I think they have already came out with the octa-core. You can check out my NJ channel. You can check out Styler channel, or Fabian iMac, the iPhone channel. They have a lot of octa-core phones already available, and they have done a review for them. Basically this is just the quad-core, which to me is a much affordable, and it works great. It doesn't have any problem. So, and let's talk about the screen. The screen itself is very nice in my opinion. I have this thing set on auto, so if we put up the brightness right here, you can see that the screen is very nice. I would say this is IPS screen, and normally I was just set this to auto so that it doesn't be so bright. Let me try to get this. Never mind, let's just set it to auto. So as you can see, the colors are nice, the screen is nice. I mean, it works for this price. It's just a clone phone, so you basically have no complaint about it. Everything is very good and works the way it should. There isn't any lag or anything. There's no problem at all, exactly. And as you can see here, I already have the super user, the Super SU app. So the phone has already been rooted. I actually follow Fabian from SetTech method of rooting the phone, which is a very easy, fast and efficient way to root the phone. And I will post the link for you to the video itself. You can follow it. I basically do it without any problem with the phone. Everything works great. So let me on all the air view, the smart stay, smart pause, smart scroll, everything. Let me turn it back on. Okay, so the routing process is very easy. I will post the link and you can do it also. I have no problem with it. Even Fabian has no problem with it, and I would like to thank Fabian for the video itself, which is so freaking easy to do. Basically I do it in less than a minute and everything is rooted. The phone is rooted itself. Okay, now let's go to the phone. As you can see here, let me see whether I can turn on all the motions and gestures. Okay. All this is actually working without any problem. Okay. Hands-free. So as you can see here, the motion works very nice, no problem at all. And the one thing I would like to clarify is, if you go over here to settings, and we go to about device, and here it says that it's KitKat, Android KitKat. But I've already confirmed that this thing is not the Android KitKat, because I've tried to download the Google camera, like some of them comments that this is the easiest way to check whether this is a KitKat device or not, and it doesn't allow me, because it says that your device is not compatible. So basically this is not Android KitKat, it's just a custom ROM to make it look like an Android KitKat, right? And the other thing is the power saving mode. The power saving mode works perfectly, because when you press the power saving mode, you turn it on, everything's become black and white. You can see that. So basically I tried to did this for a day, and it gets me an additional 2 hours to last, to make the battery last additional 2 hours in this power saving mode. I think some of the device out there, the clone, they don't have this power saving mode, but this device have, the one that I bought have this power saving mode. So we turn back on power saving mode, we get the color screen again. Yep, there it is. Okay, and the other thing that I want to tell you is the infrared works no problem, the Bluetooth works no problem, Wi-Fi works no problem, but the GPS takes quite some time to log in for the first time. I tried to log in for the first time, it takes me about 6-7 minutes honestly. After that I try it again, it takes me about 3-4 minutes, and sometimes it goes about there, sometimes it takes a longer time. So to me, if you really need an urgent GPS use, I think this device doesn't work that well. But I don't know in your country, because as the seller mentioned, that some country it works well, some country it doesn't. So it's basically up to the location and the device itself. I have no comment on this. But for me, I don't use the GPS that much on the device, because I have a GPS itself in my car. So basically I don't need the GPS that much, and it's not a problem to me at all. And also the heart rate monitor works fine. I have no problem with that. Even when I try to put the turn on the heart rate monitor, and I try to put it on the floor, or on the table, it doesn't want to read it. Let me show you an example, see whether you can see it. Here you will put that 20%. He definitely will ask you to place your finger on the phone. So he doesn't read if there is no finger placed behind the LED itself. Okay, now let me test and put my finger behind. Okay, now I have my finger behind the sensor. Let's see how many beats per minute. Okay, mine's at 52 beats per minute, which I think is very, very healthy. Yep, I think so. Okay, so I have no problem with that as well. The heart rate works fine. Most of the apps, it comes with the Google Play Store, YouTube, all that works fine. Okay, for the Wi-Fi, is running the BGN, the wireless B, G and N, and this is on Wi-Fi connection. So we'll begin the test, and I managed to clock 40 megabits per second for one time on the Wi-Fi itself. Because now I have my door closed, the router is quite far, so it only clocks 8 megabits as you can see. But if I show you some of the results I got there on the Wi-Fi itself, I got 40.21 megabits of download and 14 megabits of upload. So, and on the network, on my network, it has only 4 megabits of download. Gaming wise, everything's worked fine. Okay, and then there's also the problem is I find that the volume for the phone is quite soft. So what I did is I went to the MTK engineering mode. I do some modification to the audio setting there, and I managed to get the audio quite loud. Let me show you an example. This is one of the songs. I don't know whether you can hear it. It's actually I played a song here. It's quite loud. I already changed the setting. Before this it was a bit soft. Now it's very loud. The screen, I will show you a demo video from the stock phone. This is the screen. The colors are very nice. I mean, definitely an IPS screen. This is a stock video from the phone itself. Basically just to show you the details of the screen. Everything looks very nice. Alright. Then next, what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you how I adjust the audio for the phone itself. Okay, what you need to do here is you need to download Mobile Uncle Tools. This is the app, Mobile Uncle Tools. You go to Play Store, search for Mobile Uncle Tools, and you download that app. But your phone must be rooted, of course. So once you have this app, you just click it and it will state that it's a rooted phone. You go to engineer mode, go to MTK engineer mode, and you swipe left, hardware testing, you go to audio. So once you go to audio under this normal mode, you will click here, go to media, and basically what you do is first you set the maximum volume to 160. So this is level 0. Level 0 is when your volume is at the lowest level. So that is the volume for the volume at the lowest level. So level 6, you go to level 6, and basically you just increase the value here. It was originally about 180. So what I did is I changed it to 235. You don't want to set it to max. It might cause some distortion to the speaker itself and might damage the speaker. So you just can experiment it, increase it bit by bit, and see whether it has already meet your liking. Another thing I want to note here is this phone, when we do some hardware testing on the touch screen, I don't know about the other phones that some of the reviewers done, but when you do hardware testing, you go to multi-touch. Just want to show you that this is only 2-point touch. This is not 5-point, 10-point touch screen. It's only 2-point, as you can see here. When I add any the third finger, there's nothing. You can see that. Let me show you again. 1, 2. Oh, 1, 2. No more. There's no 3-point here. So basically it's only a 2-point touch screen, which I'm a bit surprised, because I thought it was a 5-point touch, and it doesn't even state whether it's a 2-point touch screen or a 5-point touch screen. But anyway, I have no problem with that, because I don't use too many finger touch on this phone, so I have no problem with that. Basically, this is just a normal usage phone, just to get by every day. It's not my it's not the phone that you really want to use. I mean, for more of the tech things. But I've got to be honest with you, I don't realize and I don't notice until I myself physically test it myself, and I find that it's only a 2-point touch. And the other thing that I want to talk to you about is, when I got this phone, it basically has the pre-installed Antutu app, but as we all know that those pre-installed app, it doesn't really show you some of the actual specs, because it's been, I mean, pre-modified. So what I did was I uninstalled the old Antutu, the pre-installed Antutu app, and I download a new one, and this is what I get on the results of the Antutu Test, which is a 15664 quad-core phone. And look at what it comments here. Excellent, how can you be so good? Okay. And okay, another thing is, when I got this phone, as we know, it's only a 1 gig of RAM, and the memory itself, I will show you that the internal memory is only 16 gig of ROM. Okay, 1 gig of RAM, 16 gig of ROM. This is what I have. This is my SD card, micro SD card. This is the internal memory, which is a 16 gig of ROM, and 1 gig RAM, 16 gig ROM. For this price, I couldn't complain more. Okay, so basically that's all. I mean, all the functions are normal. There's no problem at all. I don't see any fault in it, except for some minor things like I mentioned, the 2-point touch screen, the GPS, sometimes it works, sometimes it don't. The audio is quite soft, but I managed to settle the issue, and also the battery, it drains very fast, but I told you that I already ordered a bigger capacity battery. Let's see how long it can last me this time. And so that's all the review for this phone that I have. I've got to say that it works very well for me. I've been having it for 3 days now. I don't have any problem with it, and the colors are nice. I mean, I have no complaint. It does the job for me. So it's definitely a phone that you can look to, or you might consider to buy, because for this price of $140 US, I mean, basically it does the job well. It fits me good, fits what I need. It really does all the things for me. I have no complaint. If you are more tech savvy, I mean, you do a lot of things with your phones, you want more stuff, more things to go with your phone, of course this is not the phone for you. You will need to look at a much better copied clone, or you might want to get the original stuff itself. But if you really are looking for a cheap alternative, then you can go ahead and try this phone. No complaint at all from me. I will give it the confirmation that this phone is cloned. So see you guys. If you have any question, you can post down in the comments below. So for now, stay tuned and see what else we'll come up with this time. Alright, see you guys. Ciao.